Chapter 40 En Plein Air Painting. Wilderness en plein air painting is an odd yet deeply honest form of artistic expression. It requires leaving the comforts of home, stepping beyond familiar confines, and immersing oneself in the raw, untamed beauty of nature. Ideally, the essence of en plein air painting involves taking in the outdoors and painting under natural light. A camping trip is taking the practice a step further by extracting oneself from populated habitats to more natural settings. The wilderness provides broad natural vistas, creating a classical interpretation of en plein air experiences. The fact is, finding suitable outdoor subjects does not require complicated planning and a 4-hour drive north. Many bucolic scenes can be found in an urban or suburban environment. Think of Van Gogh and his famous en plein air landscapes. Both his Starry Night and Cypresses are examples of rural scenes where he captured pulsating colors of drama in the sky. Here he captured familiar surroundings but enhanced with modernist colors and forms. There are many rules to the practice when painting outdoors. During our painting trips, artists are afforded only minimal camping comforts, including a rustic privy, euphemistically referred to as a thunderbox. With a brush in hand, we attempt to translate this experience into canvas, capturing something of the land's spirit in each stroke. Finished pieces are raw and reflect a modernist abandonment of the controlled comfort of a home studio refinement. Smaller and more portable 8x10 panels are rendered with only 1 or 2 brush sizes, keeping the images blunt. It's hard to describe, but somehow a good en plein air painting can capture more of what an observer actually sees and feels than even a detailed photo of that same view. The goal is not merely to reproduce a scene, but to interpret it. Trees, rocks, water, and the sky, these timeless subjects have inspired artists for centuries. The magic of en plein air painting lies in the alchemy of brushstrokes to create an impressionistic sketch. It is a process that strips away excess, distilling a landscape into its essence. Fortunately, en plein air painters need not always venture into the deep wilderness. A quiet park or a wooded area often suffices, but for those seeking the quintessential unspoiled landscape, one devoid of human intervention, the journey can lead far afield. Finding that perfect vista is the holy grail of en plein air painting, an artist's quest for an unfiltered connection to nature. For a number of years now, I have taken part in wilderness canoe trips modeling after the adventures of Canada's most famous painters, the Group of Seven. Fall camping in particular adds another layer of complexity. Cooler temperatures, unpredictable weather, and the constant challenge of keeping supplies and oneself dry. What follows is a reflection of one such experience. Poker Lake Municipal Park, just east of Bracebridge, granted our small group of painters access to the stunning northern scenery we craved. A paddle across Benchu Lake, a 400-meter portage, and a final short paddle north brought us to a spacious campsite on Poker Lake, an ideal place for our 10 en plein air painters at the peak of autumn's fiery colors. The weather god smiled on us with an unseasonably warm mid-fall travel day. Setting up tents, filtering water, and gathering firewood took second place to an invigorating plunge into the cool lake for a few hardy souls. By late afternoon, the sharp light illuminated the surrounding landscape, and with daylight slipping away, most of us wasted no time pulling out our supplies to begin our first paintings. It's always remarkable how deeply this group embraces the wilderness experience. Later that evening, faces glowed in the flickering firelight, though some also glowed from the soft illumination of cell phone screens. Yes, just like in pioneer days of old. Though the night remained warm, the predicted rain arrived. A steady tattoo of raindrops drummed against the tent tarps, providing a soothing soundtrack to sleep. By morning, a cold front had settled in. Shorts and t-shirts were quickly swapped for layers of warmer clothing. The season of changes was occurring before our very eyes. After packing a lunch, most of us paddled to the northern access of the lake, where even more striking landscapes awaited. The designated campground had already been picked clean of decent firewood, so along with our latest paintings, we returned with a much coveted stash of dry maple. That evening's campfire discussion, as always, was delightfully varied. Two members engaged in the spirited debate on the philosophical merits of Nietzsche versus Kant. Others pondered the age-old dilemma of fireball whiskey versus wine, bottle or box. One painter and art teacher at a maximum security prison regaled us with stories of her unique students. Most of the group were veteran campers, unshaken by the changing conditions. One woman, determined to avoid another brush with hypothermia, had packed so many layers that she resembled the Michelin Man. By Friday morning, temperatures had dropped further. Hot coffee and breakfast seemed to taste even better in the crisp autumn air. This time, we paddled even further afield, setting up our easels in the shallowy grass waters of Bog Lake. The weather forecast had failed us. There were no clear sunny skies, only rain, wind, and even sleet. Yet, despite all the challenges, we found ourselves creating some of our best paintings of the trip. A bald eagle soared overhead, its piercing cry briefly breaking our silent concentration. The harsh elements seemed only to sharpen our focus, forcing us to work faster to distill the landscape into its most essential forms. On the return paddle, we gathered even more firewood, bracing ourselves for the coldest night yet. Though temperatures plunged, everyone had packed well. The final morning was met with hot coffee, stiff muscles, and the satisfaction of another successful en plein air adventure. We departed Poker Lake with new paintings, fresh memories, and the quiet knowledge that the season, like all the others before it, had left its mark on us. Until the next one.